Maybe you stopped doing that little sparkle thing you used to do, the thing that wasn't even about impressing others. It was just about enjoying yourself. Kind of like how you used to hum songs while walking, and now you march like you're late to every part of your life. Attraction isn't just romance, it's vibe. And your vibe used to say, "I'm open." Now it maybe says, "I'm tired." Please don't make this harder than it needs to be. And that's okay. But it changes things. Or maybe it's this: you got better standards. And the moment you raise your standards, the crowd gets smaller. Not because something is wrong with you, but because suddenly you're not looking for clowns in your emotional circus anymore. You want someone who actually knows how to hold space, not someone who holds excuses. You want someone who texts back, not someone who ghosts and resurrects like it's Halloween. You want someone who sees you, not just someone who notices you. When your heart gets wiser, your options get fewer but better. But here's the thing: when the crowd gets smaller, it feels like no one is pursuing you. It's not that no one exists. It's that the wrong ones finally bounced. And honestly, that's a blessing disguised as loneliness. Still, let's be real, sometimes it's not that poetic. Sometimes you're just exhausted. Life punches you in the face a few times and suddenly you're not radiating the same softness you used to. Maybe you're healing from something. Maybe you're building your career. Maybe you're rediscovering yourself. And while you're busy doing all that, you're not broadcasting romantic availability into the air like some people do. And that's fine. But quiet energy attracts differently. It doesn't draw crowds. It draws individuals, the ones who look closer instead of louder. But they arrive slower. And here's a wild thought. What if it is actually a good thing no one is chasing me? What if this is the universe giving you breathing room, a pause, a space, a moment? Think about it. Every story has a chapter where nothing romantic happens. The main character is usually growing, or figuring out something big, or transforming quietly in the background. It's never labeled. You ever sit there, stare at your phone, and suddenly think, wait, how come nobody chases me anymore? And then you shake your head like, nah, that can't be right. But deep down the question lingers like a notification that never actually pops up. So let's talk about it lighthearted, honest, a little messy, kind of like when you're venting to your best friend on a couch that is way too soft for its own good. And I'll ask the questions with you. And sometimes I'll answer them myself. Because let's be real, most of us already know some of these answers. We just don't want to say them first. Ready? Let's jump in. So, first question, is something wrong with me? No, and calm down. Don't start spiraling. The world just shifts, people shift, and sometimes attention shifts with them. Remember when you were a kid and everyone wanted to turn on your new bike? And then the next summer, suddenly it was the neighbor's shiny new skateboard everyone wanted to try? Yeah, people get distracted. And sometimes life feels like that, like you used to be the shiny bike and now you're just parked. But here's the kicker, you are not a bike or a skateboard. You're a whole damn person. But still, the comparison lands sometimes. So let's break it down. Maybe people aren't chasing you because you stopped running too. Funny, right? But think about it. When was the last time you actually gave someone the space to chase you? When was the last time you didn't cut things short, or keep your guard up, or send mixed signals because you were afraid of getting hurt again? Sometimes we say, why does no one pursue me? While clutching a metaphorical "don't come near me" or "I'll emotionally combust" sign. And yes, that sign glows neon bright. Like Las Vegas bright. Who wants to run after someone holding a sign like that? Even the brave ones hesitate. Another question, but I didn't change you, did I? Oh, you did. We all did. You grew. You got sharper. You got quieter in some places, louder in others. Maybe you stopped flirting without realizing it. Maybe you stopped engaging. It's never labeled nobody wants me. It's more like becoming. But because you're living it in real time, it feels boring and uncomfortable and too quiet. But the audience? They're probably watching this part thinking, something's brewing. Sometimes your life is building plot while you're complaining about the silence. Here's another question I'll throw at you, because I know someone reading this needs to hear it. What if it is not about how others see me, but how I see myself now? Maybe you stopped chasing you. Maybe you haven't hyped yourself up in a long time. Maybe you haven't done things that make you feel alive or charming or magnetic. You can expect others to feel drawn to a flame you haven't tended in months. Attraction starts with you, even the energy you give off without speaking. When you like yourself, people pick up on it. When you're disconnected from yourself, people pick up on that too. We are all walking radio signals, broadcasting things we don't say out loud. And people sense when your frequency is off. Let's give it a metaphor. Imagine you're a restaurant. A really good one. Maybe 5 years ago your open sign was always glowing. The music inside was warm. The lights, the smells irresistible. People lined up outside waiting to get a table. And then life happened. You dimmed the lights, closed early, removed items from the menu. Maybe people walk by now and think, oh, I think they're closed. Even if you're still technically open, your energy says otherwise. And again, it's not bad. It's just honest. And sometimes all you need is to flip that open sign back on, not for them, but for yourself. But there is another angle. Sometimes you're simply in a place where the right people haven't crossed your path yet. Life isn't a conveyor belt delivering partners on schedule. It's more like a subway. You wait, and then suddenly 3 trains come at once. And you're like, what the hell? That's how connection works. Sparse, then overwhelming. Quiet, then everything all at once. It's not personal. It's timing. And timing doesn't care about your ego. And look, let me ask this blunt one. Are you actually unavailable and don't you realize it? Oh yes, that happens. Emotionally unavailable? Spiritually unavailable? Schedule unavailable? Heart wrapped up in someone who isn't even worth wrapping a sandwich in. It's wild how many people say no one is pursuing me while still mentally married to someone from 2 years ago. If a part of you is still occupied, people sense that. We underestimate how intuitive humans are. They feel when the door is half closed. They feel when you're not fully present. And they decide not to chase because chasing someone who isn't home is exhausting. But you want another truth? Sometimes people stop pursuing you because you finally stopped performing. You stopped trying too hard. You stopped shaping yourself into the idea of the desirable one. You stopped bending. You stopped forcing charm. And honestly, that's growth. You're not meant to be pursued because you're entertaining. You're meant to be valued because you're you. But when you stop performing, the fake admirers disappear. And sure, it feels like a loss at first, but it's actually just filtration. Like pouring water through a strainer, only the real stuff stays. So with all that said, here's the question people rarely ask. Do I even want to be pursued right now? Be honest or truly. No pretending. No, well, I guess it'd be nice. Look deeper. Do you actually want someone in your space right now? Someone who needs your time, your attention, your emotional energy. Someone who has expectations. Are you even ready for that? Or would that overwhelm you? Because sometimes the universe doesn't send things we aren't prepared for. You might want the attention, but not the responsibility. You want the chase, but not the commitment. You want the sweetness, but not the mess. You want the romance, but not the vulnerability. And wow, doesn't that sound familiar? Suddenly the silence has a reason. Let's wrap this long ranty heart-to-heart into something simple. You are not less desirable. You are evolving, and evolution often looks like isolation. You're still becoming. Your story is still shaping. Your energy is recalibrating. And when you shift, the people around you shift too. Some disappear. Some appear. Some wait. But your worth? Untouched, unchanged, unbothered. Attraction isn't a race. Love isn't a chase. And the people who are meant for your energy are not scared off by a quiet season. They're not confused by your growth. They don't need you to perform. They come because they feel you. They stay because they see you. And trust me, someone is coming who won't need you to ask, why is no one chasing me? Because they won't make you wonder. So if you're in that phase right now, breathe. Sip your coffee or your tea or your overly sweet bubble tea that's on you. Smile at yourself. And know that this quiet middle chapter, is shaping you for a connection that doesn't need chasing to exist. And maybe, just maybe, that's the whole point.